Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Halal Times YouTube channel. Today we are bringing up a topic which is important for everybody, and in fact the truth of the matter is that basically a lot of people, a lot of Muslims from every corner of the world, they've asked us this very question, and we thought that maybe we need to discuss it a bit in more detail as to what halal investing is. Of course, we need to have a detailed understanding of what it is and what are the prohibitions when you're going to do investment somewhere, and what type of halal investments are there available for you guys to do your investing. And of course, we will discuss all these details, plus we will also share with you halal investing resources. To my understanding, all these things are important for all the Muslims. Why? Because the thing is that there are a lot of Muslims around the world who want to make halal investments, but they're not sure yet which path to take, where to go, what opportunities are available, or how can they avoid haram investment. So all these topics are important, and hope we will be able to help you address some of the questions which you may have in your mind before you really making halal investments anywhere and in any stock. And of course, this is very general information. We are not responsible for any investment which you make, but one thing I would like to share with you, that we are sincerely trying to share the information which is important for you to decide whether the investment which I'm going to make is halal or not. This is our main objective. So we are not affiliated with any organization. We are not trying to push anything which is not halal. No, this video is not sponsored by anyone. This is the information which we have gathered from various sources, and of course, to our best knowledge, all these sources are valid sources. And of course, for them, the most important thing is making halal investment and not profit. Of course, your most important objective will also be to make profits from your halal investments, but the most important thing while you do is basically choose the investment which is actually halal and where there is no doubt about it. This is something very important. It's more important than making profit. Profit, of course, is important, but you cannot make profit unless the business which you're going to enter is 100% halal. And of course, we are also human beings, so we cannot guarantee whether all the information which we're going to share with you is exactly what you're looking for, is 100% halal. But being humans, we have tried our best, and inshallah we will try to share the information. I hope you'll be able to make use of it profitably. So inshallah, let's get started. This, believe me or not, this video is going to be long, so please roll your sleeves up and have a cup of tea so that you can start basically learning as to what halal investing is, what types of halal investments available in the market. And we'll, of course, at the end we would also like to share halal investing resources where you could go, and of course we'll also share with you those URLs, those domains, those companies which we think are offering halal investment opportunities. And inshallah, I hope all of this will benefit many of you. Okay, let's get started. Today's topic is, what is halal investing? If you're looking to invest in a Sharia compliant way, it may be easier than you think to get started. As you know, halal is an Arabic word that means lawful or permissible or permitted, while halal often refers to food. Of course, in most of the cases, it can also describe which investments are allowed or halal within the Sharia perspective. From Islamic perspective, which investments are halal and which ones are haram, which you must avoid at all costs. So, as far as the definition of halal investing is concerned, let's get to the basics. Halal investing is basically a religious form of investing that complies with Islamic law or Sharia. Islamic scholars help shape halal investing guidelines around topics such as interest, debt, risk, and social responsibility. As far as the definition is concerned, halal investing is basically a specialized form of socially responsible investing. And this is not my definition, but it was said by Fatima Iqbal is certified financial planner and financial advisor with Azad Asset Management in Falls Church, Virginia. A lot of the criteria that apply to socially responsible investing, for example, avoiding companies that have revenue coming from areas like alcohol, gambling, tobacco, that's part of it. But in addition to that, it's also making sure that we are not investing in companies that have significant debt or interest income. And of course, we have not made these rules. These rules, Sharia scholars, not us, but religious scholars, they have derived from the teachings of Allah and the Quran and Sunnah, and of course, the companions of the prophets and the people, the scholars who came afterwards. So, how halal investing can help you build wealth? Of course, after you make sure that the investment which I'm going to make is halal, then your next objective will be to make maximum profit. Of course, there is nothing wrong with it. So, how halal investing can help you build wealth? That is the question, and we'll try to address this. In Arabic, as you know, most of you know, I guess, Sharia means the path acts as a code of living that applies to many facets of Islamic life, including donating to charity, praying, observing particular religious rituals, and investing, of course, included. Halal investing allows Muslims to build wealth without worrying whether their investment choices are Sharia compliant, because many traditional investment vehicles are not, and those vehicles you must avoid them at all costs, as I mentioned earlier as well. It's detrimental to somebody's financial future if they cannot participate in their retirement plan, as some of you know, and they're not simply not able to because their employer has not offered them any halal investment. That happens to a lot of people, especially in the non-Muslim world, unfortunately. Or sometimes what happens is that they are forced to compromise, they're forced to take it. If they don't take it, then of course they'll not be able to have any financial future. They're forced to say sometimes, okay, it's my financial future, or it's going to be my religious values or my principles. Which one to take? That is the fundamental question which they face at the end of their employment age. And that is, of course, in the beginning as well. They got to take that investment plan, whether they want to take that invest 401k, for example, in the case of the US, they have to take 40k one plan or not. That is a question which they have to address from the beginning. And that's really a hard question to put somebody in. It's a very hard position, very tough choice which you have to make. Of course, it's related with your financial future, and not many of us, unfortunately, means at least my iman is not at the level when I can leave hundreds of millions of dollars, for example, if I have to, just for the sake of Islam. Sometimes I will try to find ways where I can secure that money. It's a general position, it's not just related with me, but it's a very tough choice. I mean to say, I make a decision in this favor, or I make, personally speaking, I don't know what happens if that is the situation which I am confronted with, but generally speaking, it's a very tough choice. So we got to be careful as to what decision we're going to make. Halal investing allows Muslims who want to ensure they follow Islamic law to participate in their retirement plans. And according to Malak Udaimi, who is certified financial coach and founder of Prosperous Financial Solutions based in Irvine, California, it may help more Muslims feel comfortable with investing in halal investment. He says that in general, I would say that Muslims get a lot of comfort when you tie Islamic values in the investment which you're going to make. You can tie it into a religious context and make them realize that money management and investing is a form of halal investment, especially, for example, for women, a form of self-love. And it's also a form of worshipping God, Allah, and being thankful to Him. I think it helps when you put it into that context. So what are the halal investing tenets? There are many different interpretations of what specific investments are allowed for halal investing. Still, certain investment practices are generally accepted by most observant Muslim investors. and we are going to list them up. For example, paying or charging interest is absolutely, this is the very basic of Islamic finance, and this is absolutely forbidden, as you know. Paying and charging interest, such as the kind you would pay on a debt or loan, is completely prohibited by Sharia, by Islamic law. Adherents of Islam consider interest exploitative and invest in things that do not profit from it. One crucial distinction is between the interest a bank would charge on a loan and the kind of compound interest that can accumulate on a stock purchase. Riba is, as you know, commonly translated to interest in English. However, that word in Arabic is very specific to profiting off of debt or loans. So that type of interest is not permissible at all, according to Kudaimi. And of course, that is true. But the word interest in English is more expansive than the word riba in Arabic. So you got to differentiate between the two concepts in two different languages. According to Kudaimi, for example, the permissible compound interest gets conflated with the type of interest that comes from a loan because of this linguistic difference. There's a lot of Muslims who don't know the distinction, and then they are like, oh well, I can't invest in anything. But to tell you the truth, that is not the case. So that is usually something I have to clarify with whosoever we meet, and we have to be more informed about these things. And of course, not all investments are haram, so we got to make investments which are halal, and we're going to discuss these in detail. So let's be hopeful and let's not lose our hope as far as halal investing concept is concerned. Kudaimi also notes that sukuks often revolve around projects with a high likelihood of profitability, such as a newly built freeway with an added toll. If you make an investment into building a freeway, of course you're going to make profit. It's highly likely that you will be able to earn a lot of profit if you make an investment in building roads and a lot of other types of construction projects. For example, dams and electricity grids, things like that. Gold, and what is the status of gold and other precious metals in case of halal, whether they are considered halal or not. Gold and metals, other metals, as you know, are typically viewed as halal as they appreciate over time but pose no other halal related risks. So you can make an investment into these assets as well. Of course, in a similar topic, we're going to discuss how to invest in gold. So another thing where you could make halal investment, if investing in real estate is usually considered halal. But one thing to be cautious about with real estate is that all mortgages need to be halal so as not to incur any interest from a loan. Investors curious about REITs or real estate investment trusts must also ensure that their REITs are halal 100%. REITs that are mortgage basis are typically not halal, so they're not allowed. So you got to make a clear understanding of what you're going to invest in as far as the real estate industry is concerned. REITs that profit from a property's rent, we hope that they are more likely to be halal. So you can make a distinction. Cryptocurrency, unfortunately, for the last 1 month or so, we have been listening to negative news about the cryptocurrency. But if you're able to do that, then we would say, and there might be possibility that we think that, not we, but religious scholars think that cryptocurrency is halal. And of course, we have touched upon this topic on our Halal Times pages. So please do visit our website if you are interested in learning more about these issues, because we cannot make a video for every single topic. It's not possible for us to do that. So as far as cryptocurrency is concerned, it's a volatile investment. As I mentioned, its price has decreased significantly. It has been devalued a lot, especially in the last month or so. But that does not necessarily mean it's not Sharia compliant, of course. On the crypto side, there is a differing opinion. Some scholars will outrightly call it non-halal or haram because there is a speculation. The other group of scholars will call it completely permissible. So you got to make a decision, and we have touched upon this topic. We have discussed various opinions of religious scholars whether cryptocurrency is halal or not. You can see that discussion on our website as well. If you're interested in cryptocurrency or other asset or are unsure if it is halal, it may be best to consult in financial advisors who specialized in halal investing. So that is one thing which you may want to discuss with your halal financial advisor. And we also touched upon this topic in a separate. Now at the end, we would like to discuss some of the halal investing resources which you could follow. And of course, we are not affiliated with any of them, but inshallah, hopefully, you will be able to get sound advice from them. And we're not going to make profit out of this, but our only request is that whatever we are presenting to you, that is from our heart. So inshallah, we will try to give you the best possible information. So the very first resource which we would like to discuss is, very briefly of course, Azad Asset Management, holistic and halal financial planning services and investment management company it is. Another one is Malak Financial Coach. He is a certified professional coach working with Muslim women to manage their money in a halal way. Another place where you could go to get more information about halal investing opportunities is basically Muslim Women and Finance podcast. And we're going to list up their URL in our description. Another one is Saturna Capital. It's a financial advisory firm that offers halal investing. And Sharia Portfolio. Another one, it is a halal wealth management firm based in the US. And recently, some time ago, we conducted an interview with the chairman of Sharia Portfolio company, and mashallah, that was really amazing, and we learned a lot. And I'm sure we're going to list up that URL as well. So please have a look at that and watch that video as well if you're interested in making halal investments. And there are some other halal investing related videos as well, which you could watch on our YouTube channel. So thank you so much, brothers and sisters. I hope we have done at least some justice to the topic, and we have tried to give you the best possible information which you could have. And inshallah, hopefully this information, at least some of it, will be beneficial to you. And if you got any questions, please feel free to contact us. If you got more detailed questions to be answered, please let us know via comment, and we will try to give you the answers as soon as possible. And why should you consider as one of the best sources of information as far as halal investing is concerned? The reason is that in our personal lives as well as in our corporate life, we try to follow basic Islamic principles, and we have the basic knowledge which is necessary for us to make informed judgment. So on the basis of our 30 years of background, understanding the Islamic finance, Islamic financial principles, we think that basically we can give you useful information. Inshallah, we hope to bring you another episode from the Halal Times in a few days time. So talk to you then. Assalamu alaikum.